There we go. And we are live. What's going on, Kyle?
What's up, Rick?
Chilling, man. Welcome, guys, to That So Controversial Season 2, man. Daily Chat number 57, man. This has been an awesome ride so far. Kyle, how have you been?
I've been well, man. I can't really complain about much. Not much
That's
at all.
good.
How about you?
I'm fantastic, brother. Always fantastic. Always good. Always ready to go, man. Just
Yeah.
taking it one day at a time, one day at a time.
How was your weekend?
It was all right, man. It's all right. But today we're going to be talking about inspiration, brother. Inspiration.
Inspiration.
That's right.
All
Are
right.
you
So let's.
inspired? Are you inspired, good friend?
Yeah, I'm inspired. I'm inspired to start the show.
And with that said,
With that
daily
said,
chat.
starts now.
Yeah, I love it. I'll be bumping to that. Bumping to that. Welcome back to That So Controversial, man. What's going on, my day ones? Showcast, motivation, Marmar. How's it going? Kyle, what's going on, man? Let's talk about inspiration today.
Nice. Yeah. What are we inspired by?
I don't, I don't
Is
know, man.
inspiration a real thing? Do you
Oh,
think it's a real thing?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you have any kind of creative juices going in your life, man, you are at some point going to be inspired, man. There's a correlation between inspiration and creativity, right?
Yeah, yeah. Some of the stuff that we see right now are inspired by other people's work, and it wasn't brought to life by that artist. So the artist can be walking by, see something, and and then a few months later they produce something that we all know. But that artist was inspired by the original artist. So it happens all
Yeah,
the time, I think.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You inspire me, man. I be
Oh, that's so sweet.
motivated and inspired. Yeah, I'm not flirting with you. I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm just saying. Just saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I think when you surround yourself with positive people who with
Hmm.
a good work ethic, and when you see them coming up and doing their thing, I think that could be not just inspirational, but also motivation to get you up off your ass to start doing stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think as you mentioned earlier, there's a big difference between motivation and inspiration. Um, the inspiration is I would say it's more of a whole thing.
Right.
Motivation comes and goes. Motivation could be temporarily. Inspiration is something that is more last. It lasts longer. It's more long lasting. And it's a general thing. We
Right.
have sparks of motivation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
I found this quote that I thought it was pretty not a quote, but a statement about motivation versus inspirations. And what it says is the act or process of giving someone a reason for doing something. That's motivation, right? And
Mhm.
then inspiration is more of a person reaching a point of wanting to act. No, yeah, it says inspiration is more a person reaching to a point where they want to act, whereas motivation is more of giving a person reasons to act.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
So I think
Um,
those
yeah. So what are you inspired by?
I think I'm inspired by everything and anything, man. Like I'm easily inspired, man. I see happy couples, I'm inspired by that. I see a movie, I'm inspired by that. Music, inspired by that. The weather could inspire me, man. You see a nice, beautiful, sunny day, and
Hmm.
you might be, you might feel some kind of way. You're like, oh wow, you know what? Like today, you say you started working on one of your projects that you had shelved for a little bit. So
Hmm.
we were talking about that, just before the show started. So what was it that inspired you to go from, thought to act?
Um, it was a song I heard when I was listening to on a train. Not today, but a day before.
Mhm.
Um, Actually, I was listening to it on Friday, and then I started playing the song again and again and again. And I
Mm.
kind of, as I was playing the song, I started seeing the 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 um the project I wanted to work on. I had to show it for a while because I was shooting something else this weekend. So, but when I was clear of that, I was able to listen to the song again, and I'm like, okay, this is this puts me into the mood of creating this project. So really inspired by it. And then, the funny thing about inspiration is once you kind of get like a whiff of it, and then now everything is inspiring. It's just like you see something else and you're like, okay, that works with that, and they kind of all come together to create this, this moment of inspiration. And it just, and the best thing that you can do is try to ride that wave.
Yeah.
Momentum is a dirty creature, and it will turn on you at any given moment. So you got to ride that momentum. Once you get it, you got to just stick with it, and make these small decisions, these little small decisions, and you keep on making these small decisions. You get the big idea, and you get the big project that you want. So
Yeah, and someone like me, man, like you said, I have to ride that wave because I'm a huge procrastinator. We were talking about this earlier, also how I'm just, if I'm honest with myself, I'm lazy, man, and
that's the first step.
and I'm comfortable being lazy. That's the dangerous part, right?
That is the very
So,
dangerous part.
so
We've been talking about this being comfortable.
yes, you sent me that inspirational thing, that speech, the motivational speech from Denzel Washington, and he hit a lot of he touched a lot of buttons that were very important, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me see if I can find the part of that
The
speech that was.
ease is more detrimental than hardship.
That's right. I got it right there. It says he goes, ease is a greater threat to
Yeah,
progress than
than
hardship.
hardship.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's the crossroads where I am right now. Because there's so many things that I want to do. Right, it sounds good, it
Mhm.
feels good at the moment. Right, that's where you have that, I guess, motivation.
Mhm.
But when does it turn to inspiration, where you're actually acting on being creative? It's always fun to watch like these motivational videos, right? You feel great at the moment, right? But
Mhm.
when's the point when we actually take that feeling and turn it into something, tangible?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of David Goggins. You know that,
Oh,
Rick.
that's right.
Huge
Stay
fan.
hard.
Huge fan of David Goggins. Um, and he is like his biggest thing is like, yo, it's easy to be motivated when you're on your couch and you're relaxed and you're comfortable and you're like, oh, I'm going to run a marathon, and in the middle of summer, it's easy to do that when you're on your couch, but it's
Right.
hard to to actually go out there and start training for that. It sounds like a great idea on your couch and when you're comfortable, but when it's time to act on it, you kind of like, oh man, what am I doing here? And I think that's so true about motivation. Motivation is really, really, really it could be like sometimes it could be like fool's gold, man, because it's not the whole
Yes.
thing, you know. So
You ever find yourself like binge watching motivational video because of how it makes you feel at the moment? It's almost like
mhm.
this false sense of accomplishing something, right? It feels good, like, man, I can't wait to get started. As
And
soon
you
as
never stop.
soon as that video is over, yeah, that was nice for about three
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah. It was at one point where what I used to do every morning going to work, motivational videos, right? And I'm
Right.
listening to these videos and I'm like, yeah, yeah, all right. And then when it's time to get home, it was like all that energy and all that momentum, all that I had was already drained out. So it's really tough trying to keep that. And I really believe the way to do that is just start. Just don't think about it. Don't even consider the options. Just start. That's
You know,
literally
it's
the hardest part. Just starting. Just start.
and I think that's a huge thing, is actually doing it, right? Because you ever get inspired or motivated at the wrong time, if that makes any sense?
Yeah.
Like in a point of your day where you can't actually act on it. Like for me, I work nights, right? And I have the most energy is when I'm at work, which is crazy because I can't really do anything about whatever I'm motivated about,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to like working out, exercising.
Yeah.
Can't do it when I'm at work, but that's where I have my most energy. And then when I come home, as inspired and motivated as I was at work, you start creating this game plan. As soon as I get home, I'm gonna bust out 20, 30 push-ups. Yeah, right. You hit
You
the
sit on the bed?
couch.
Yeah, you sit on the couch?
Yes.
Damn, maybe next time. But see,
I
here's the
think so.
thing, it can't be a next time. Like that's what you have to kind of tell your subconscious. I was talking about this earlier. You have to convince yourself right now. It's no other time but right now. So that's what I've been doing like lately. After we spoke about that speech, and it was just like, let's just get to it. Whatever we got to do, let's just start it right now, man.
All right, cool. Um, does this ever play a role for you as far as it's concerned? Elizabeth says sometimes it's fear that keeps us from moving forward, and it's putting that plan into action.
Fear, not so much. It's not really fear for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just sometimes I'm a planner.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I over plan, and that could be also a thing for me. It's like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and that. But and like I said, I'm learning that action is the best is the best course of action. Best
On
course of
top,
action.
yeah,
Action.
Nike got it right, bro.
Yeah.
Nike, that's the do all right there. Just to do it. They just missing that F word, man. Just fucking do it, man. You got to be aggressive with yourself sometimes. Like there's times that I'll be honest, man. Sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to do nothing, and that's just that mindset. I think we get comfortable with not doing things, and it just it's like we were talking about. We got to get real uncomfortable, man. We got to put
Yeah.
ourselves in a position where we're doing stuff that we're just not used to doing, and we're just so uncomfortable doing. And none of us want to be uncomfortable, quite frankly. When
And
it comes,
yeah,
yeah, good.
I'm
No, like, exactly. Like if you're working out, we don't want to get all sweaty and sticky and stuff like that. It's just uncomfortable. But that's where progress comes, right?
yeah,
When you put
yeah.
yourself in that position.
Happens right outside your comfort zone. Just they're waiting for you, but you just gotta, you gotta get there. Um, yeah, and I kind of want to go back to that whole fear thing. I do think fear is a lot more important. It may not be in the sense of, it may not be directly, I'm fear this, but but I think it comes in a different form.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the fear of what are people going to think of me when I'm doing this and stuff like that. So
Oh, that's terrible.
I do think fear play a more important part than I kind of previously mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta just you gotta get through that, man. You gotta get through
Do,
it. I think you gotta just
do
move
you
forward.
do you think the fear aspect comes when it's something new and it's outside of your comfort zone, or just in general when you want to do something just in general?
Um, it's outside the comfort zone.
Right?
There's new things outside the comfort zone, and that's fine, and that's okay. When you're doing something new, you're supposed to be cautious and have some kind of fear. Because if you don't have any fear, I think you're crazy. You know.
Or a real
Even,
special individual.
yeah, but even Mike Tyson said, as he's walking to the ring, he is extremely scared. He's fair. He fears his opponent until he gets
Really?
into the ring. Yeah, he's fair. He's afraid of death of him
That's
until he
crazy.
gets into the ring. But that fear kind of keeps him on edge. It kept him on edge. So, um, and then that's the thing about what are you gonna do about your fears? Are you gonna just sit there and let your fears consume you, or are you gonna attack it? So,
I don't know. It's a good question. I have Elizabeth in the background. You ready to join us? Give me a thumbs up. All right.
Left,
Cool.
right. I always forget.
That's all right. Thank you for joining us, Elizabeth.
Hey guys,
Appreciate you, man.
how you doing?
good and you?
Hello.
I just got the review in here. Yeah. So I was talking about fear as like, the unknown, walking into that new step for a new venture or something that you're taking off. Like for example, with you, Ricky, setting this whole podcast and stuff and streaming, um that type of fear, not fear of like, I'm scared or too scared
Mhm.
about it. Just like the unknown, the what's gonna happen, the resolution, what's gonna come of it. And it's just sort of like sometimes we gotta rip off that band-aid and just go with it, right?
Oh, absolutely. You was there for day one. You saw it firsthand.
And
Kyle, if
it's
you don't know who this is, she was there for me for the very first show. She's the one that I was talking about relationships with in that first show.
Oh, nice.
yeah. And
50,
Yeah.
it's and
50,
it's
57 episodes later.
yeah, and it's amazing. I am so beyond proud of you for sticking with this and doing what you felt in your heart you had to do. But I'm pretty sure
Thank
there
you.
was a
Thank you.
fear factor there, and you
Ooh,
still went
yeah.
on and did it. Yeah, yeah. So I am very, very proud of you for that.
And I
Yeah.
thank you for holding my hand in that first episode, man, because I was lost.
No, but it's that it's growing pains. It's learning, what works and what doesn't work, right? And taking what serves us and what doesn't serve us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all a learning process, and I think with And especially I speak for myself because sometimes I got to take that initiative too to go ahead and continue moving forward in the path that I feel I should be walking in. And I'm the one that stops myself from time to time because I feel like I don't know what's going to happen next. And I like to know what happens next, you know?
Yeah,
So,
the fear of the unknown.
yeah.
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 So since I have you here, I guess let me ask you the same question that we start the show with. What inspires you? What gets you? What's your inspirational thing?
My inspiration comes from people like you, everyday people who set forth on their things that they didn't they you know conjure up in their mind and never really put into play, and finally put into play and you see it flourish. That's
Mm,
an inspiration to me when I see other people's stories and their success stories and where they came from and what they did. That inspires me to go ahead and move forward with what I'm doing.
that's awesome, man.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's great. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
everyone has different stories, different walks of life, and but somehow we all come together, right? Like we all walk the same way sometimes, not realizing that.
No, definitely, man. Definitely for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this question here real quick. Can people kill your inspiration? Kyle?
Um,
He's like, no, hell no.
no, nah, it, not
Face gave it away. He's like, no.
something I would never admit if they did or anything like that. I would just gotta have to put it in the back of my head. I would never say out loud, like, I would never tell someone they killed my inspiration. I would just
No.
like, you know, and someone when they people attempt to kill your motivate and your inspiration, you kind of, it depends how you want to take it. Are you going to take it as a victim, or are you going to attack,
Yeah.
keep that in your mind and use it as motivation to keep on going? I
Yeah.
really think it depends on where you want to store it,
Perception,
only,
right?
yeah, only your perception, only you can allow them to kill your inspiration.
Yep.
So
Some people agree though. Hillbilly says yes, and I agree to a certain extent. We kind of allow ourselves to get. You ever told somebody this grand idea that you had, and they'll tell you like something negative about it, and then you turn into like Eeyore. Oh bother.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it a lot of times. Yeah, some of the closest people, and they do it sometimes not even malicious. They just do
Mm.
it out of their own insecurities and their own fear.
Yeah.
They kind of try to put it on you, like, hey, that's not a good idea. You're gonna invest this amount of money, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll sit there and try to say, you know what, it's not gonna work. Just don't do it because no, it's not gonna
Yeah,
be what
And they may mean well,
they
but
mean. Yeah.
sometimes they don't they can't see the same vision that you see, and they can't see it come to fruition, or they can't see you, or maybe they see it from their own introspective stuff, right? Maybe they say, damn, I don't think it's possible.
yeah,
He sure as hell can't do it. If I can't do it, he sure as hell can't do it.
yeah. That happens. That happens.
Oh
It's
man.
just, I think really people are just trying to kind of put their own psychological flaws and they trying to pass it on to other people. And like I said, it may not even be malicious. Sometimes it's just like out of caution. And like, oh, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to be disappointed. But it's like
Yeah.
sometimes you have to swing big. You have to swing.
It goes back to comfort. I think that's their comfort zone.
Yeah,
And they don't want to get out of that comfort zone, so they want you to be there with them as well in their comfort zone. And some people are not comfortable with change. I
yeah,
come across with people who are not comfortable at all with changes. So when change comes, you start to see sort of type of relationships that you had when sustained with certain people to evolve as well, and they're just not okay with that. And they'll start to just kind of like, um I don't want to say fall back because that's just a bad terminology, but like just stay put where they're at and you keep moving forward, and they just don't add to your life anymore. They
hmm,
sort of just, you know, some people you're able to move towards your next phase in your life, and some other people you just kind of sort of leave them where they were at.
yeah.
You know,
Seasons. Everybody's not for all year round. This
there
seasons.
you go. That's
Yeah,
exactly what I was looking for. I had read something like that. Not everyone's meant to be in your life. They're there for seasons and for the reasons for that
yeah,
season, and then you move forward. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I actually like what Hillbilly said here also, because I think Kevin Hart and a whole bunch of other comics, like they were like really shitted on by their teachers because they couldn't see the the potential, or even athletes where teachers tell them stuff like and it's not just shit on teachers because there's a bunch of great teachers, but there's also bad teachers out here who it's like we were just talking about, like some people can't see themselves doing it, so it's easy for them to tell you, you can't do it. And if we buy into that bullshit, man, we'll never be able to see like our dreams realized. Like Kevin Hart would have never been the comedian that he was. A lot of these athletes would have never reached the plateau that they reach if they believe that negativity. And these people who are supposed to be guiding us, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to be mentors, right? They're supposed to be people that tell you you can't do it, you will do it, just keep working hard at it. And unfortunately, there's still those people who don't.
All right. Now, where do you draw the line between, how do you know when someone is trying to kill your vibe or keeping it real, right?
for me, it has to be history. Like it all comes down to the history. Like, for example, my best friend, she is besides me, she's my worst critic. She's literally my worst critic. She would tell me in a heartbeat, "Yeah, that's trash. I don't know why you showed me this." Like literally in the heartbeat, and I know she's coming from a genuine place. It's just sometimes sometimes I forget that, but I know she's coming from a genuine place, and she really wants me to succeed. So, it's not malicious. I just wish she would work on her delivery sometimes. But you know, if that person has a history of like, all right, supporting you and wanting to see you do well, I think that you kind of get more lenient with them from someone else who just kind of like just watching you and not even trying to support you, but always have something to say. I think they're two different type of people. At the same time, I appreciate those people who we say kill my vibe because it kind of just keeps you on your toes. You know.
Right. How about you, Lisa? Do you think you could tell the difference when someone is keeping it real or just killing your buzz?
No, I'm working on the whole vibe thing 2021. So I would have to continue on. I have to put a pause on that question because to me it's sort of hard because I'm still trying to differentiate that in my life and my relationships on who's truly genuinely for me. Because they say you can tell people who are genuinely there by either actions or like you said, being there for you, supporting you all the way through, or just staying in the background in the silence and not being someone who says anything to you instead of just negative talk. So
Yeah.
I still don't know. All the people that I talked to are still hanging on with me. I will talk to you at the end of 2021 and let you know who didn't make the cut for 2021. 2022, I mean.
Shut the
Um,
shut list.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But I
it's
think
tough.
it's also. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Now, also, it kind of thinks of like who do you like who you have to who opinion do you value?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you do not care for someone's opinion, you just kind of brush it off, whatever. But if it's someone that you care about and you value their opinion, that motivation. I mean, I'm sorry, that killing a vibe could hurt a little bit more. It could be a little bit harder to brush off, you know. But then again, you have to decide, who am I willing to to deal with, who I'm not. Who can you tolerate, who won't you tolerate. So
right.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
so
very important, man.
yeah, man,
All right.
I think it's extremely important.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on to the next question, which is where have you found information? Have you found inspiration from places that surprise you?
For me, yeah, I look around a lot when I'm walking somewhere.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm looking around and anything, it can really I'm really easily inspired. Um, Kind of keep like a mental vote of things, and I do out when I see throughout the day, and sometimes I put into action. Other things just get stored in the vote until next time.
Yeah. This is kind of embarrassing, but I've been inspired by bad rappers. There were times
Fair.
where I was like, if they could do it, I could do it, man. I wrote some stuff which I would never, put out there into the internet in the world. It was kind of embarrassing, but I was in that place where I was inspired by, people I was not a fan of. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you certain examples like that whole chicken noodle soup shit. I didn't get
Oh,
it.
that's my song.
Oh shit! Where's the cancel? Where's the button? Where's the button?
Oh man.
How about you, Lisa? Were there places were you ever inspired by something that surprised you? And also, man, when we have topics where we need a female's perspective, I want you to be there, man.
Oh,
We be lacking female perspective sometimes.
I'm so glad I was able to get on today because I was like, oh my god, he's on. Let me go. Go ahead,
Appreciate you, man.
Brown. Where I found inspiration is at my own work, where I see other, and this is gonna be sound terrible, but it's true. Where I see other people in different positions or higher positions than myself sometimes, and I look at the work that they do, and I'm like, bro, you for real? Like, are you serious? Just move over. Just let me take over. Like I get inspired by like, okay, if he can do it, she can do it. I definitely can do it. you know,
Yeah,
it's
it's incredible.
terrible, but it's true. Like, oh, you don't
Yeah,
know
but
this, something that it should come with what you are in the position for. Yeah, I'm like, okay, now then I gotta get to it. What's next?
no, that's a beautiful thing. That inspiration can
Yeah,
literally come from anywhere, man. And that's a great example. Sometimes
yeah,
you see somebody doing something that I don't see that as hate. It might be labeled as hate, but if you see
yeah,
somebody doing something that you could
yeah,
do better, and you use that as inspiration to level up, for lack of a better term,
yeah.
that's a great thing. You took like Biggie said, you take a negative to a positive,
Positive.
and it's
Well,
so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
So inspiration can be found literally anywhere, man.
I just wanted to pose another question since we're on this topic.
Shoot, baby.
Um, the social media inspire you in any kind of way?
It can. I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer. It's just like, but here goes. It's really like who you have in your ecosystem. Because if you have social media, you have a lot of the wrong things that you're seeing. That's what you're going to kind of manifest, you know. But if you're around and you're watching a whole bunch of artists or whatever you're into, artists or financial advisors or real estate or whatever you're into, you should be following those people on social media because those are the people that are going to motivate you and inspire you to keep going and give you some ideas, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, for me, for social media inspiration,
You put it up
right.
all the time. I see your memes. There's a lot of social media inspiration from your part.
Those
I'll
are
be
just
like,
things I post, like,
they're
randomly.
inspirational though. I see it. I see it.
It's just certain things, I do a little bit of listening to motivational speakers, entrepreneurs, things like that, But I have a 7-year-old daughter who watches YouTube channels, so she has all these people that she watches, these little kids or the adults playing the little kids, and she's just like, we need to get on this YouTube. We gotta make money. You gotta subscribe. That's how they get money. And I'm like, you're onto something, little girl, but I don't know if I can do that whole YouTube thing.
You know what's funny, man? Like when it comes to YouTube, this is not my first, try at it. I tried to do the whole vlogging thing and vlogging thing. You guys can look it up. It's a stay-at-home dad with a job. That shit lasted a hot 2-3 months, and I stopped because it was a lot of work.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
and it's amazing how we watch successful YouTubers and other social influencers, and we brushed off like, damn, I hate those people because all they do is make videos and they become famous. It's not that easy. It's a lot of work involved in it.
it is.
But like one of the first people I was hating on, and my son could tell you this, this little boy, you might have heard of him, Ryan.
Ryan, oh my God. And Liana would like watch that. And I just like, can you turn that kid off already?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
it's not even that cool.
just handle a little kid, bro.
Yes, I was, man. That little kid made like 21 million in 2018, bro. He
Yeah.
Wow.
was killing the toy review game, man. My son loved them. My son made a couple of YouTube videos, and inspiration can come from anywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's the
Wow.
truth, though.
That's I didn't know that about you, Rick. I didn't know you used to hate on
A
a
little
child.
kid.
I'm telling you, man. I was like, he's not that good.
But just to touch on what you were saying about, everything looks easy. Like basketball looks easy. The sports look easy. Boxing looks easy on television, right? Until it's time to do it.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Nate Robinson had to learn the hard way.
Yeah, yeah. He was, and he's a step above us because he was already an athlete, and
Right.
he's, oh, I'm gonna just change sports. I could do this, and it was a long night for him. Well, actually, a
No.
short night.
Yeah, it's funny how we see people doing things and we instantly tell ourselves that we were just talking about earlier, oh, I could do that until we try.
Yeah.
Like with chicken noodle soup, I thought I could be a rapper.
I don't
Is
know
there
what
a
that
song
song's
out there,
about,
Rick, that
but
you have? Is it
And there are a couple of remixes.
Oh my god.
One day I'll be bold enough to play them for you guys on here.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to play it for us.
Oh, one day, man. It is not cute, man, because yeah. How some people say I have a face for radio, I have a voice for TV. Yeah, so you can edit that shit on the basketball. I can Milli Vanilli that shit. That's about it.
Wow.
Yeah, I might have aged myself on that one, but
Yeah, you did.
You did. Just a little.
blame it on the rain. All right, so I think Kyle put this question up, or maybe I did. Is self-esteem important for inspiration?
Definitely was me. Um, it's
That was
self-esteem.
it.
Nah, it wasn't me, bro. Uh,
Cool.
self-esteem important for inspiration. Self. I would say no. I don't think so. Well, maybe yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah. You have to be inspired enough to say, you know what, I can do this. If you see something and it inspires you, you have to have the confidence in yourself to say, all right, I can do this, or I want to, or I'm going to attempt to do this.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. I think so.
yeah, I think it does. But then the self esteem comes in after you hit that first obstacle. Do you quit or do you keep on going? That's when self esteem and confidence and fortitude comes in. So
Yeah, I think if you don't have at least a high level of self-esteem, and that could be like counterproductive to you could be inspired to do something, but then to have the confidence to execute,
yeah.
I think that could be a problem. You ever had a point maybe earlier in your career or in your where sports or something that you did where you was inspired to do something but didn't have the confidence to go ahead and try it?
Um, I end up trying everything I wanted to try.
It's dope.
I end up not maybe not at the moment, but I end up trying everything I wanted to try. Um, yeah, yeah. I think I got to the point I got so bold even now. Um, where if I do something, as long as I feel like it's good, I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
Because there are a lot of people with a lot of great ideas, and they just so shy, and
Man,
they don't want to show the world what they have, and because they don't have that self esteem or whatever. Um, but yeah, I just think you do what you got to do, and whatever happens happens at this point.
all right. How about you, Lisa? Ever been a point where you were inspired to do something but too scared to execute or try it?
Hmm. Yeah, there's a couple of things. I think self-esteem, like you said, I agree completely. It goes for your inspiration. You have to have self-esteem to do something. So there's things that I'm capable of doing that I just don't do, or I do them. As my sister says, because I'm so kind and so genuine that I'll just go ahead and do it instead of charging for some services that I should be doing. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah.
What
So,
are you good at?
Don't cheat yourself.
huh?
No, no,
Don't cheat
no,
yourself.
no.
Don't keep
Don't cheat.
myself.
Don't
That's
cheat.
exactly what she
Stop
said.
cheating yourself.
That's what she said. So that's one of my things that I'm doing. Trying not to cheat myself in the process of doing to what I'm doing. So I have some stuff in the works that I'm not gonna speak on right now. But yeah. So
No, it's funny how you say that because a friend of mine, he's in the tech space, and some of his friends created this thing called human IPO. You know, like initial public offering, right? Where
yeah,
you get to. I don't quite grasp the concept 100%, but it's about um, putting value on your time, right, and selling your
yeah,
time, and people keeping them as stocks, right. And as you get more famous, there's more value on that time, and you could sell that stock for someone else, or you can use it. It's a really dope idea. It's a brand new concept
yeah.
that check him out. That's my boy Miguel Sanchez. He's doing that. Yeah, he's in that tech space, and I thought that was a really really unique concept. And it's, whenever there's a new idea, man, jump on that shit early because you're gonna regret it. Just like Bitcoin, a lot of us could have been rich. We would have jumped on that shit in 2009,
I
and
know.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for that human IPO thing.
I'm gonna look into that. Put the
Yeah,
link
man.
on so I can see him and
Oh,
follow him.
oh, for sure, man, for sure.
I think Hillbilly makes a really good point. Not to change.
Oh,
Misery and pain gives most inspiration. That is so true. So true. And the thing is that we have to remember that misery and pain once we're not in it anymore. That's the hardest part.
mm.
Like some people are in a job they don't want to be in, right? And if they could just remember that and just hold on to how they feel when they're in that job, that will like fast forward them so far in life. They will not get like when they're tired. Oh, I remember I don't want to be back there no more. So I'm gonna continue to do what I have to do. I cannot agree with this comment more. It's so important. Misery. You have
They
to
can.
appreciate it.
Oh, wow, they can definitely be some motivational fuel for sure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. There
Have you
can't,
guys?
but there's some people that still would be like, "Oh, this is just too much. I can't,"
Yeah,
you know, and that's where they just like, "I'm just gonna stay in this job for 20 more years, and then I'm gonna
yeah.
retire because my pension's gonna kick in, and I'll be good
Oh,
with that."
that was we actually had a good conversation on that on the last episode last week with Prescott. We talked about was it with Prescott? We talked about retirement. Yeah, retirement.
Okay.
How people stay, they stay in their comfort zone, and it
Hmm.
actually applies to today. Where people are inspired to do different things, but they're not motivated enough to actually execute. And that's huge, man. Because like I said, a lot of people are happy with the doing their 20, 30 years at a job, and maybe throughout the whole job they're complaining the whole way through, but they're not brave
Yeah.
enough to walk away and do something different. And I want to encourage you guys to do that. Me myself included, man. To just like, and I'm never complaining. I'm happy where I'm at, but I'm also want to strive for more. So like just for the people who are always complaining about their job, just remember you do not have to stay there. They don't have you there at gunpoint. You applied for that job the
Yep.
same way you applied for it, man. You can go and find somewhere else. Not everything is money and health benefits, man. You got to factor in happiness. So I
Yeah.
hope that people are inspired enough to go ahead and look for something else.
But it would be good to leave with a plan.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I was gonna
absolutely.
say yeah. At least have a plan of
Rick, don't be having nobody
what
quit
to
their
try.
job tomorrow because Rick said so.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying, have the courage to definitely do something, and like Kyle said, have a plan and execute it, man. Yeah, because I think that's the biggest fear. We're afraid to leave something that's
No,
stable for something that's uncertain.
Let me ask you a question.
no, because it's gonna sound like
Since we're on fear, right? What is something that you like, right now that you are willing to say, I fear of doing it, I'm going to try one day?
Oh, this was one of them. This
Okay.
was one of
Is there anything
them, and
else?
I want to get on stage.
Like what? Like Magic Mike?
I got some singles.
Like you mean on stage?
I
I
throw
want to
five
act
dollar
on
bills.
stage.
Oh,
I throw
act on
$5.
stage like theater. Oh, okay.
I
Uh,
thought it's scary as hell. Like performing in front of a live audience is probably the scariest thing I could think of for me personally. But I want to actually do it and try it. But I want to keep my clothes on.
Darn. Next time, ladies. Next time.
Yeah, man. How about you, man?
for me,
Yeah.
you know what? It would be being in front of the camera. If Chris is still there, Chris knows about it. Chris is always in front of the camera, any chance he gets. Me,
Hmm.
I am strictly behind the camera person.
Would you
Uh,
want to be in front? Or you just
I
afraid
would
of it?
want to try. I'm afraid. I'm anything I'm afraid of. I want to try.
Okay.
So like, I want to try it one day, one magical, majestic day. I would try it, but Chris loves being on the front of the camera, so it works for him. But for me, that would be one of the things, you know.
How about you, Lisa?
Um, I thought it'd be the same way. I mean, I'm on here with you guys, but you guys can't see the way I'm feeling. I'm sweating down here. Um, Being on camera, yeah, just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
I actually want to be like some type of, not like a motivational speaker, but someone that can speak in big crowds.
Okay.
So that scares me sometimes. Although you would know my personality, Ricky, I'm very rambunctious, very outgoing. That
Yeah, that's a
scares me.
surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would think that
surprising.
you'd be comfortable doing that kind of stuff. But
No,
yeah,
yep.
Kyle, Dusty Rick. You're gonna have a whole bunch of old ladies happy. That's about it. Let's see what else we got here in reference to. Oh, we put that already. All right. Yeah, I think you might have touched on this. Like, have you ever lost inspiration? How or why? And we lost Lisa.
Oh, okay, that was fun.
It's okay. I think
Uh,
she was only supposed to be out here to that answer that segment. And we kept her on. She said, I,
Um, have you ever lost inspiration? Yeah, I have. Certain things didn't go the way I wanted to go, and I kind of like put some stuff to the side, and and it kind of eats at me still to this day. So I'm gonna get back to it eventually. But yeah, you know, that was me. I lost it, and hopefully I didn't. You lose it forever. I lost it temporarily, and kind of took me in a different direction. So
right. I think sometimes, like when it's not going the way we planned it,
yeah,
that that can kill your inspiration also. Or if it's taking too long, right? If it's taking too long to get where you want it to get, that can also kill your inspiration.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. You gotta stick to it, man.
How about you, Lisa? Have you ever lost, uh, besides Wi-Fi, have you ever lost inspiration?
I'm telling you, I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes with this. Um, yes, my my battle with losing weight and getting exercise and stuff like that. I get on my spurs where I'm like working out and doing it for 6 months, and then the winter comes and I'm like, oh no, boo boo, this girl is not going to the gym in that cold with that snow. I'm staying home. I hibernate, and then I'm at it again in January, and so I've definitely lost inspiration there and trying to keep that momentum going when I start and then just continue on, doing that. So
It's a vicious
You know,
cycle.
it's a
it,
cycle,
it
yeah.
is a vicious cycle. And you know what? Me and Rick was just talking about this. Um, it was two things I would say. Just to touch on that, Rick and I was talking one day. We was exhausted. Both of us was exhausted before the show, and he was like, "You know what? We should cancel the show because like we were both like in the graveyard right now." And we was like, "Nope, we're gonna go through this. The show must go on."
Hmm.
And it ended up being a really good show. I forgot which one it was, but we both was like, it was just it was looking bad. We kind of pushed through, and it actually
Yeah.
been a really good show.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's how you self talk to yourself, right?
Yeah,
You guys
Yeah.
were like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to get it
yeah,
done. And I do the same thing. I'm like, yes, we're going to the gym. We're going to get there. And then I'm like, I'm parked. Nah, let's go back home.
yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to exercising, I think like I'm worse than that. Like I don't think it lasts more than a day or two when I'm doing really, really bad. Because I always blame it on my son. It's not his fault. Like I gotta
Yep.
have, willpower. I don't have to eat his leftover stuff.
But we
Wow.
do.
Yo, yo, Kyle, when you become a parent, you'll see, man. You'll see how tough that shit is. Like, you want to have broccoli and vegetables and stuff, but then you see your son's plate and you kind of hoping they don't finish. You tell them, eat your food. You keep saying, You keep saying to eat your food, but you hoping they leave a few spoons left so you can scrape that shit up before you wash the dishes.
Wow, Rick. Wow.
Oh wow.
I think every parent does that.
Yeah, you're not lying. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't think any parent actually, maybe my wife is probably the only person on the planet that actually scrapes out the leftovers into the garbage. No, we in the kitchen like then the plate makes its way to the dishes.
Wow. But
Yeah.
as far as that goes, what works for me and what I try to keep remembering is that when the moments where you don't want to do something, that's when you definitely need to do it. And I think you will feel so much better if we all kind of adapt to that. Like when you don't want to do something, just got to do it. And you're like, right, you know what? I overcame this, and we will be so much happier. I think I try it, and I will encourage everyone to try it. You know. So I got that from David Goggins.
That guy's unrealistic, man. Nah, he did it. So it's got to be real. So stay hard. That's the easy part. No, but a lot of people like David Goggins, man, because if you ever heard his story, it's crazy inspirational, man. That guy went from a big dude to, going to the military to changing his life, man. That guy, it's the truth, man.
Yeah. His book is free. It's on Audible if anybody wants to listen to it. It's really good. It's a really good, inspiring story. You just got to stick with the first few chapters when he goes through his childhood. But when you listen to the story, it's impossible not to be motivated after listening to it. And
But like you said, it's a difference between being motivated and actually being inspired to do it. It sounds good, man. It all sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. It really sounds good when you're comfortable.
Yeah. It's so true, man. Everything sounds good when you're sitting on your couch and you got headphones on and they talking that good shit into your ear. But once that goes off, game over.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man. So I think that pretty much wraps up the show for today, man. This is I had a lot of fun talking about it, man. Inspiration is huge.
So can we before we go, everybody here, what are we gonna do now? We talked about it. What's next? What you gonna do, Rick?
Put an action plan to it and get it done.
That's for damn sure.
What you gonna do, Rick?
I'm gonna do a couple push-ups and get ready for work.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm trying to do every day now is at least push-ups on a daily basis.
Okay, get your chest game up.
Yeah, chest game, tricep.
All right.
Then I hang on the damn pull-up bar. I don't do pull-ups. I just hang on it for as long as I can.
Maybe one day you do one pull-up and then
maybe. Absolutely, maybe, man. So again, man, I just want to say thank you for everybody that came through, all the people in the comment section. You guys rock, man. Like I said, this platform is about having conversations, man. And like I always say, man, just like Lisa did, I'd love to have you guys on the show. So don't be afraid to jump on. You don't have to jump on with video. So like I always say, man, we don't have to agree, but damn it, we should definitely always talk, man. And with that said, man, make sure to check us out. Leave a like, comment. Consider subscribing, man. It's a pretty dope place to be. Hang out, chill, talk a little bit of shit for a little while. So you guys stick around and I'll see the rest of you guys next time. Tomorrow. Remember, we're here now Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 8 p.m. sharp. 3 days a week. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Take care, man.
Give